Welcome to a special after show of Married at First Sight.
Because Team Single is taking over.
Hey!
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yes!
Team Single.
Team Single. Hey!
No curfew.
No curfew. Hey! What is up, you guys? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here. This is the Married at First Sight After Show, Season 10, Episode 8. I'm your host, Lanisha, but I cannot do this without my single, smooth criminal host, Ken.
Yes, what's up?
What is up?
It's Team Single, that's what's up.
But we can't talk about Married at First Sight without having at least one representation of Team Married. Y'all give it up for our producer. What's up, Jonathan? How's it going?
How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing great. So you guys already know how we do this. We break each and every couple down in their drama, except one. And then we also have our Rate the Couples and our predictions. So you ready, Ken?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I need to know your overall reaction to this episode.
You know, it was very lighthearted, not as much drama, but the couples are back in D.C. They've got acquainted with their new homes. Well, everybody except one couple.
Yes.
But it's good to see them living amongst each other and just seeing how they interact. So I'm here for it.
It was nice seeing some couples making their progress and, not so much other couples. So we'll get into at least the couple that is making their progress, which is Meka and Michael. They have moved in together, and they're actually sleeping in the same bed. That's a step forward.
That's a lot of progress. That is a huge step.
Okay. I know everybody was talking about Meka and how she came off a little bit as aggressive, but I like how they finally had the conversation about wearing their wedding rings, especially in front of their families, but wearing it for technically renewing their whole vows and wearing it as a commitment through the good and the bad and the ugly. What do you think about that?
I'm glad that they both decided to put the rings back on because I didn't realize they still had them off. They were on such good terms throughout this episode and part of the last episode, so I just naturally assumed that they had the rings back on, so glad they had that conversation, and I'm so glad that Michael decided to put the ring back on because if he had said, no, I'm not ready, I just feel like that would have been a huge problem, especially with family coming in and the way just Meka has been very dominant in their relationship.
That's the word for it, dominant. She's definitely been extremely dominant. The one thing we can say about her, she knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to say it, so I could say that. I did like at the housewarming how Michael went to her mom, Meka's mom, and asked for her advice about how can I be a better husband to your daughter.
Yes.
What did you think about that conversation all in one?
That was very respectful. Hats off to him. That he came to her as a grown man. He's trying to make this work, and he's mentioned that before. And the moms, she kept it real and was just like, you know what, just be patient with each other. She gave him, that's the same advice that she gave her daughter. And Debbie O said Meka is doing too much. Emphasis on the too on that. She has a lot of critiques about him, and she keeps doubling down on him. So it's good to see him open up, and he's still trying, and he's not letting that kind of push him into a corner. But him sitting down with her mom, that was very respectful. I mean, that was a beautiful moment for any newlywed and their in-law.
Yeah, I overall like the housewarming in general. I like the family versus family, getting to know the couples. They reminded me of my family. We're very competitive, okay? And I definitely I do see that they're growing, and I do see them building a friendship. Meka can still be a little bit opinionated. I don't like that. I don't drink tea. But I see them working through it, which is good.
I won't say a little bit. I'll say a lot of bit. I mean, he couldn't even buy spices without her nagging about the spices. So she just needs to tone it down.
Tone it down just a little bit, but at least they're moving forward. One couple that I can't say is a little bit shaky and probably not moving forward is Taylor and Brandon. Let's get into them as a couple in general. So we're going to start with Taylor talking to her girlfriends about the entire situation, the entire honeymoon, how Brandon had not one blow up, but 2 blow ups. The first one was a silent treatment, so it was a silent blow up. And the second one, he was basically cussing her out, saying, F you, F the show, F everybody. Would you have talked to your friends about the situation if it was like reversed, if it was your woman cussing you out and everything?
Yes, like off top. At that point, they haven't even been married less than 2 weeks. And he's not just disrespected her, he disrespected everybody involved with the process, including the other couples, the production team. And there were some comments on YouTube about people, saying that, well, you know what? Her behavior and trying to justify Brandon's behavior toward her. And I just want to say for everybody out there, as an adult, man or woman, there's no excuse to be disrespectful. If you cannot express yourself without using curse words and yelling and all of that, like, you're not ready for a relationship, period.
You get a gold star. Come on, somebody.
Where my gold star?
Where's this gold star, you guys? There we go. There's your gold star. Oh my gosh, because I don't see how people think that Taylor should just get over it so quickly. Like, I do see some comments where it's be like, okay, you said you're going to get over it. Get over it. I don't know too many women that will get over. I don't even know men that'll be too quick to get over being cussed out in that way by someone who's supposed to be your soulmate.
Right. And
you're supposed to love. So I like that she put her foot down, and they said that they are in separate bedrooms. He's got to work for it, okay?
Maybe the dog is going in the bedroom with him. Maybe that's what's happening.
Thank you, because that dog wants him some, Brandon. And they said that it was the dog showing its dominance.
Yes.
So she pretty much said, like, Brandon, I need you to step it up because the dog's showing you up.
Oh, Lassie was showing up.
Now I have to ask you, do you think that the friends were in the right to bring it up during that housewarming that they had?
It's a way about doing things, but I think just based on this situation and this being a show and you know what you're getting into, that yes, as a friend, I would be protective of my friends. So that was very alarming to hear that he had this outburst, and it's definitely a huge red flag. And for my family members or anybody's family members that care for you, your friends and family, if they hear that somebody had an outburst and, doing all of this stuff, and it's not even week 2, I would definitely be alarmed. So I think they handled it very respectfully. They were not yelling at him. They were just letting him know, like the friend Toki, I believe his name was, which is kind of letting him know, like, hey, bro, that's not cool. This my friend. Like, we're not doing that. So just basically laying the rules, and they're still getting to know each other. So I don't think it was out of line at all.
I think I'm that way as a friend, too. I'm like, I'm going to call you out and make sure that my friend is good. If they're truly my friend, I'm going to make sure they're good. But I do like that Taylor didn't let them kind of jump on him. I do like that she laid it out along with his auntie, obviously. Auntie has to have her nephew's back.
Right.
But I like that Taylor stepped up and was like, okay, this did happen, but we're moving forward from it.
Yes.
Like, in the conversation.
And even with his aunt, she said that she was his sounding board. And we all know that people know people in different ways. So she was like, oh, he never acted like that, or I can't believe this. And it's just like, I'm sure you can't because you're his aunt. So you guys have a different type of relationship. So she's looking at him as, oh, my sweet, innocent nephew. So we all know people in different ways. So not to say that Brandon is out here just, having outbursts in D.C. and beyond. Yeah. However, his aunt, it's like, him in a different way. So maybe like an ex-girlfriend or, somebody that knows him in a more, I guess you can say like a more adult-friendly way or something, would have a different opinion. But I didn't really, I accepted what she said, but it's just like, you're his aunt.
I think that's what I was going to say. I think that's just family protecting family. And, obviously she sees that everybody else is ganging up on him. So, family got to protect family. I'll respect it. Mine would do the same as well. But overall, I think Taylor did a good job of collecting it. But she did kind of bring it up after the housewarming when everybody was gone.
She did.
And you could see that Brandon was getting a little bit annoyed and saying I thought we were going to move on from this. And you could kind of see that he's trying not to say the wrong words. He's just agreeing with her.
Right. And she wants him to be her man and not to just agree with everything that she is saying. And to, Brandon is not... it seems like he's not emotionally involved because he's more just kind of like, okay, whatever you want to do. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, whatever. And at this point, she's like, no, that's not what I want my husband to be like. Say I'm wrong. It's just like if she said, the sun is out and it's midnight.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, yeah, it is. Like, no, that's the moon.
Communication, honestly. And I think what she wants is not for him to be quiet, not to shut him down, but to just have, if you really want me to get over this problem, we need to have a real conversation about it. And having a real conversation is not just you agreeing with me. Do you even know why you're agreeing with me? Or are you just saying it just to be saying it?
Exactly.
Then we're going to run into the same problem because you don't even know what you did wrong.
Just like with the phone and him not, he definitely shuts down, and he's shown that. And then it's like when he resets, he might have an outburst. So I mean, it's like he's walking a fine line because he's trying, like you said, not to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But she just really wants to just be yourself. Like she just wants to get to know her husband.
Yourself.
Yes.
But we're going to get away from this toxic couple. I just can't. We're going to go into my favorite couple, my lovey-dovey couple, Jessica and Austin. They have grown from awkward couple to just a blossom of life.
Yes.
How do you feel about how they've been doing as far as their living situation?
Great. I mean, he started off this episode, he was vacuuming. He cooked her dinner, so when she made it home from her 14-hour RN shift, she had food ready, and she mentioned, sometimes I come home, I might just eat a snack or not even eat at all before going to bed. But that really just shows the teamwork.
Yeah.
They give you, it gives me chills because it's like you can see they're happily ever after in the future. So I'm just excited for the couple, just like all of our fans. I mean, everybody's comments about those two are amazing and 10 and all of this. So I hope they keep it up.
I love them two together, and I feel like he's not a bum. I'm just so happy that he's not like he still works. But even though she makes more money than him, I'm glad that he steps up to the plate, takes care of the house. He did the dishes, y'all. He made the bed. He did everything. And I was just like, goals. Some of these men in this show really need to be taking notes from Austin because he's doing it right. And I'm glad that she doesn't ever shame him about it. I'm glad she knows, he's motivated. Mm-hmm. He wants to step up to the plate. And I'm glad she doesn't, tear him down. She'll tease him a little bit.
Yeah,
we saw a little bit about at the housewarming. So she will tease him. But overall, I think that they're a great couple.
I mean, what? There's nothing.
There's nothing bad to say about them. They try to talk about finances, but even that they worked out.
Yeah, I'm taking notes from those two. So
yeah, I honestly love them. But you guys know who else we love? Can't tell them who we love.
We love all of our fans. We love you. Shout out to It's Ray Ray. We love you too. But thanks for making us the ESPN of TV talk. If you're watching us on YouTube and if you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and press subscribe. Click subscribe. Hit that like button and hop in those comments because we love talking with our fans. And if you're listening on iTunes, we need 5 stars. Thank you. Give it to us.
5-star, please, and thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. So now we're going to get a little bit into some of these other couples that aren't doing as good as Jessica and Austin. Katie and Derek are kind of backsliding.
They are.
Let's hop into that. So Katie meets up with her mom and Derek meets up with his dad, and they're both talking about the relationship. Now with Katie and her mom, she's talking about basically she's still stuck on the fact that hasn't said I love you, or that it's going to take him a long time to say I love you. And you can see her kind of backsliding, like, he's okay. Like, he's good at this, but I don't know, he does this. And I guess her other problem that she has is him continually mentioning that he has to use the bathroom.
Specifically number 2.
You know, TMIs, specifically number 2, you're right. Do you think that the issues that she's bringing up about Derek, do you think that they are big issues, or do you think there's something that she could work over?
One of our fans, AE, had a really good comment and stated that when Derek said he didn't think she could fall in love in 6 months, Katie's feelings were hurt, probably because she was falling for him so quick and so determined to be in love ASAP. So she decided to hurt him by throwing out her ex as a way to create emotional distance, self-sabotage through and through.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree. Like, you could almost see like a light switch. Like, as soon as he said that he hadn't been in love and he couldn't see himself falling in love in that short period of time, you could just see, like, she was like, oh no, I'm not feeling this anymore. And it's almost like she's kind of overthinking the situation.
Yeah.
And instead of just continuing to enjoy their relationship and the buildup, because they're still strangers. This is less than 2 weeks. So just let it play out.
Strangers in bed.
They are not strangers in bed, but that could be their only connection. Could be more sexual, maybe with him, and I mean, even with her, it's been more of a, ever since he said that, she has just turned off.
But here's my thing. It takes people at their own time to say the word I love you. And it's not just a word you throw out. I don't think people realize how crucial that word is, like love. And I think Derek's really, taking the time to think about it. And he's thinking realistically. Like, Jonathan, since we know you're married, how long did you tell your wife that you were in love with her?
Ooh, I'm trying to remember now. I know it was some time. I think for us, it was probably, I think it was like a month to 2 months.
Okay. Yeah. So, it takes everybody their different pace, their different timing. And I think Katie just thinks that it's going to be a never.
Yeah, and I think if anything, she should be more alarmed if within the first week or two he was like, I love you.
Yeah.
Like, no, like, he's never been in love. So, I mean, that's just not what it is. And, like, his dad mentioned at lunch, like, there's less electricity, but they have to put in the work.
Yeah.
So I think Katie, she just needs to put her head back in the game.
Hello. And I think she needs to stop doing a comparison, because I think she's low-key doing a comparison with her ex and Derek.
Right.
And I do agree as far as, like, the whole poopy thing. You could just say you're using the bathroom. I don't need to know that you're doing a whole number 2. I don't need to know. I'll figure that out with how long you're in the bathroom.
And this is somebody he's had roommates, never lived with a significant other.
Yeah.
So he had like 3 or 4 roommates, I believe, in that house. So, I mean, that's kind of, you can kind of tell just how they're playful in that household.
Yeah.
So that was kind of maybe something that kind of frat boyish that, that was fun, but it's like, that's not appropriate with your wife, especially Katie. She's not feeling it. But hopefully he tones that down as well.
Yeah, but I will say, Katie, I got to call you out on this. Do not talk to your mama like that. Did you see how she pretty much told her mom, like, well, I pretty much don't want to be like you, where I just have a baby and just settle? Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
She definitely, I don't even want to say checked her mom, but that was a low blow. I will say. And I mean, her mom is just giving her advice from her standpoint. She's been married twice, and you can tell she's looking out for her daughter.
Yeah.
And she was a little taken aback when she made that comment. But yeah, it definitely was. That wasn't a nice moment.
It
Katie.
wasn't. And basically, the girls group, everybody gave you the same advice your mama did.
Right.
It's going to take time. You guys are cute. He's doing the right thing. Stop overdoing it. And
Yes.
Derek, his dad gives him advice about putting work into the marriage, because he talks about how he hasn't fallen in love with her. Like, yes, physically they're great, but emotionally they haven't gotten there yet. I mean, if you stop talking about your number 2, maybe you guys can get there. But
Talk about number 3, 4, 5. I don't know.
3, 4, 5. That's it. But maybe they should go on like a romantic date or something. What do you suggest, Jonathan? How'd you win your wife over?
I mean, I went on plenty of dates. We hung out. We actually went to high school together, though. So, like, we had a lot more time together.
That's a high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
I'm not
Like,
about to. Oh.
We started dating. So, I was actually going to maybe throw that in earlier. I was 18 when that 2-month marker popped up, and I was really young.
Wow.
So, I was.
Well,
Yeah.
they're young in here too, so they're like 26, and
That's still
Derek
young.
is 20.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and I think the younger you are, you say "I love you" a lot faster.
Yeah,
than
that's,
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah.
But be careful when you say it. It's not a word that you just throw out, y'all. It's
Yeah,
really
I
not.
agree.
So let's get into our little messier couple. I know y'all have been going in on them, Zach and Mindy. Before we go into them, I want to, Jonathan, can you throw up these photos that we've been tagged in? We've been tagged in some memes about Zach. So they said, if I had to quote Zach talking to Pastor Cal, and it pretty much says, I just want to be able to mind my own. I just want to be able to live without. I just want to be able to miss her, basically. So that was from the last episode. Thank you for popping that up, because I cannot read that small thing. Yes, I just want to be able to miss her. So I want to be alone and not wear a wedding ring and not actually give this a chance. And I don't know if I can grow an attraction, but whatever. How's my hair?
That was hilarious, and it was interesting to see that Austin called out Zach in their interviews
Yes!
when he said that he just talks in circles and never makes a point. I mean, Rhonda Bell said that Mindy needs to work on her self-esteem and worth, and Patricia Burgess says it's just irritating to see her practically begging Zach to like her.
Hello.
So just their whole relationship, them not living together in the apartment. But I think the biggest gem from this couple is her friend Mallory.
Yes, Mallory, you get a gold star because you are calling him out.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm this type of friend. I'm not about to just let you. Yes, I'm not about to just let you walk all over my friend and have me not say nothing. I don't think so, especially when she's just so blinded by your sweet words and your hair.
Yes.
That's all that it is. So we do get into them with their friends. Obviously, families are still not introduced. We don't ever see Mindy's family. And it seems at first that they're having a good time, but then Mallory calls them out saying, oh, you're still not living with her. There's a second bedroom. Where it at, though? And Zach is kind of like, oh, but I have my wedding ring back on. Yeah. This is progress. We're hanging out. We're growing a friendship. It's great. We're growing.
Yeah,
He's doing a good job, right?
I mean, yeah, she called him out. She was like, look, I'm here. I'm a good person. Like, Zach, nobody believes you.
Her friends were not having it. Like she said, he's pretty much BSing everything.
Right.
Because if you were truly giving this your all, because he even quoted, he said, I'm doing the best that I can.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really? You're living 10 minutes away from her in a whole separate apartment.
Like,
What are you
you
doing?
could sleep in the living room. I mean, Aurelia Distel, she said Zach is lying.
Lying.
Like, she started off, he's lying. And boy, bye. That's how she ended her comment. And I think that's just kind of just across the board how everybody feels about that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with Meka and Michael, I mean, they're they're attempting to make it work. And Brandon and Taylor attempting to make it work, and by sleeping in, even at least you're in the same space.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going over to like he's visiting an old high school friend or something, and I'm surprised he didn't fist bump her when he arrived at the apartment.
He can't, not with the friends around. No, that's the only reason why he showed up, because he knew that the friends were gonna be there. And he's giving up this whole act. I feel like last episode, Pastor Cal, he gave him an out. Yeah. He said, do you want to be in this? Yes or no? And Zach said yes. Mindy thought that she was going to be put back into this. Oh, by the way, someone said it in the chat, and we missed it last episode, that he accidentally called her Mandy. I missed that. Like, he called her, you can't even get her name right.
I missed that as well, but not Mandy.
Not Mandy, no.
Yeah, that's not Mandy Moore, Zach. It's not. Relax. But I want to say that Mindy is a beautiful girl. She has she's really into her career. And one thing that also stood out when she mentioned, when they met up in the park, and she mentioned like, she was just finishing with some figure skating, and they were getting ready for competitions.
Yeah.
And like, that was kind of like a segue, like, get to know her, get to involved in her world. And he was just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like, he just wants to be on TV. Like, he's just not interested in her.
He just wants to be on TV. He could have been out of this easily, but he wanted to stay on because he wants to be seen with his appearance. Period. So with that being said, we're going to get into our Rate the Couples.
Let's go.
Yes. So Jonathan has been keeping track of all of our ratings, and we have been going all across the board. Let's see who we're going to start with. Jessica and Austin. Ken, what do you give them?
I'll give them a 9.
A 9? I'm going to give them a 10, you guys. This is my couple. All right, who's next? Katie and Derek.
I'm going to go with a 6.
A 6? I'm going to give them a 5 because of Katie. Katie's been lowering it for me.
Yeah.
So Taylor and Brandon.
We're doing 0? Is that, we're doing 0?
Yeah.
Okay.
0?
0.
Man, I gotta go with my -1. I'm sure we could go to negatives.
Oh, we're doing, okay, -2, okay.
Meka and Michael.
You know what? Hope floats. So I'm rooting for them. So I'll go with a 6.
A 6? Okay. Yes. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with a 6 because I'm feeling their friendship grow. Mindy and Zach,
0.
our favorite couple.
0.
I'm gonna give them a super 0.
A very round 0.
0. And that's for you, Zach. Mindy, you could do better, okay? So, now we're gonna get into our predictions. What you think is gonna happen?
Now, your AfterBuzz TV
predictions.
Let's see, with these team single predictions, I predict that Brandon and Taylor will be single soon. What other couple? Oh, Mindy and Zach. That they'll be single soon as well.
Dang.
I mean, yeah. They're just not looking good for those couples.
I definitely think after this housewarming, I think Zach is going to backtrack again. And Mindy's was going to be like, where were you? Oh my gosh, friend, you was right. I should have never went off on you. I see Katie and Derek getting into it next episode a little bit. Because we still haven't explored the ex. This episode, we explored more so of how Derek's feeling. And I think next episode, we're going to get more into her feelings about her ex.
And really get a lot more information about Katie. And because she's starting to reveal some not so flattering things about herself.
Exactly.
And even her interaction with her mom was just like, a red flag.
My mom would have popped me real quick.
I mean, it wasn't a huge Brandon red flag.
Yeah.
But it was like a mini, still need to watch out red flag.
Yeah. And I hope Meka and Michael grow more.
Yes.
I like seeing how they're growing. So I hope next episode it just keeps on getting better and better. Yes. So with that being said, you guys, thank you guys so much for joining us here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Lanisha, but first, Ken, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Meet Kenneth Ware.
Yes, and you guys could follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Lanisha, spelled Lanisha 914. See y'all.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.